Hey folks, Matt Kokinas here with Microfarm Organic Gardens. Today we're going to show you how to make a low tunnel style cold frame. Now, cold frames have been used in agriculture for centuries, and the basic idea and purpose of a cold frame is to create a controlled environment around the plants, to control the amount of air, water, light, and most importantly to control the temperature of the soil and the air around the plants. So mainly to control temperature. And the low tunnel style cold frame that we're going to show you how to make today is primarily used to extend the growing season of plants that are in the ground, or in the case of planting in the spring to plant before the average last frost date. So we've got a patch of cabbages here and some kale, and this row is about 5 feet wide. So we're going to use a technique where we bury reinforcing bar and pound these pieces of rebar down on the ground, and then place electrical conduit over the rebar to make hoops. Okay, so it's pretty basic. We've got about 10 feet or so. So we need a hoop on each end and one in the middle. And we'll just start by taking a 2-foot section of rebar and hammering it down into the ground. Leave about 4 to 6 inches out of the ground so that you can easily secure the electrical conduit. You want to come about halfway down the row and that one's back down in this original spot.
Okay, we're rolling.
Okay, so now I've driven my 6 sections of reinforcing bar, 3 on each side of where the cold frame will be set up, and I'm gonna simply take this section of electrical conduit and just slide it right over the rebar. Now, you could also use regular plumbing PVC, but conduit's actually a better choice because it's designed to resist breaking down from sunlight. And of course, in a garden setting, there's lots of sunlight. So go ahead and choose the conduit. And who knows, you might have a cold frame you can pass down to your grandkids. But it's real simple. Just slide the conduit over the rebar. Good. So we've got the hoops in place for our cold frame, and the final step is simply to take the appropriate weight of row cover fabric, and in this case I've got a heavier weight fabric that can protect the plants down to about 6 degrees below freezing. And I'm gonna just take the fabric and drape it over the frames and secure it to the ground using 6-inch steel stakes, often called sod stakes or sod staples, that you can pick up at any landscape supply store or at the big box store. And take a sod stake and just start at one corner and take the stake and just right down through the fabric. Right in the ground, pretty straightforward. kind of pull the fabric tight as you go to help have a nice tight cold frame when you're finished. Now, when you get to the end of the cold frame, this one's kind of tricky because there's a fence here, but what I like to do is just kind of fold the fabric over like so. You can actually run a stake through a couple layers of the fabric on the ends. Row cover fabric is a better choice than plastic because it lets air and water and light reach the plants.
Okay.
To make a cold frame on this smaller 3x5 raised bed, we simply need a bow at each end, a hoop at each end. And what we can use to make those is one of these resin coated rods, like a tent pole, and simply stick it down in the soil at each end of the bed. So start by doing that, like so. Come to the other end. Try and get them somewhat level. Take our row cover fabric, which is porous and allows air and water and light to reach the plants. And like the larger cold frame, simply spread the fabric over the bed and pin it down with the sod staples. Now tuck the ends in like so. With the design of this bed, you can actually get the fabric in place first and then come back and pin it down. That's all for today, folks. Thanks for watching. For more information and for more how-to videos, visit microfarmgardens.com.